I was recently a guest on the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast, and I wanted to share this information with you guys. Mike over there, who runs that team and that podcast show, was nice enough to do an interview with me and wanted me to post this here on my YouTube channel to share information about how you can be successful using YouTube to grow your real estate business. As you will come to find out here in this podcast, I explain everything about what I've done to earn over $600,000 worth of gross commission income in the last 2 years just from YouTube. 100% organic, 100% free, not much to it, just making videos just like this. So if you're interested in YouTube, you're going to want to listen to this one because this could be an absolute game changer for you and your business. Without further ado, let's jump into it.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. What is up, everybody? What we're going to do today is bring you live individual agent actually doing the shit we talk about every fucking week on this damn show. So you know, there's people out there doing it. We're not doing his stuff, but he's doing, you know, basically what we do for a lot of people. So this is like there's a lot of people doing this exact same strategy, and we're going to focus today specifically on YouTube. How the hell did he get in the business 2 years ago, 28 years old, and he's going to close near $600,000 and closed GCI 100% from YouTube? Well, he knew the strategy. He knew how to get found. He created content. He started doing it consistently. And guess what? People started knocking on his damn door. And he did it without spending a dollar in ads. I think we're going to find out, though, because this is what an interview is. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and introduce our guest. His name is Mr. Cody Stack. What's up, Cody?
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here. Can't wait to jump into this.
Yeah, dude, we appreciate having you on the show here. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody a quick rundown. Who are you? What market are you in? And then we'll get on into the interview.
Yeah, sure. So Cody Stack, I've been in the business for 6 years, but just been on YouTube for only 2 years now. So everything I do is almost exclusively YouTube at this point. It's all 100% organic and free. Like you said, I'm on track by the end of 2021. Over the last 2 years, I will have closed about $600,000 in gross commission just from YouTube. So in addition to that, I'm doing, friends and family and investors and all these other people I still have in my market still. So, but as far as just lead generation, new business coming in, 100% YouTube right now, and absolutely love it. This stuff works. And, if you're thinking about doing it, you got to do it. Now's the time.
Yeah. And because you're in Salt Lake City. I was just checking out your channel. It's pretty impressive. So if you go to his channel, we'll give you the link later, but just look up living in Salt Lake City. I mean, the dude owns every single search term out there. And then you can see what his view counts are. And, he's going to own that probably forever, which is the best part about it. And there are still some markets you could actually still penetrate and get in there. Some major cities, as a matter of fact, where people really haven't done the videos or done the content yet, but it's limited. I give it another 12, maybe 18 months. Maybe in the country. And then all these search terms, all this content, I think you're sort of going to be SOL. There's going to be something else with YouTube because there is a specific strategy that for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I sort of know why, like that people search for and why these videos get so much views and attention organically, which is the key. And what is the percentage of buyer or people that come through? It says how many percentages are relocations coming into the market versus let's talk about types of leads you're gonna get off YouTube. Then we'll go into types of content.
Yeah, sure. So it's probably 90% relocation. A lot of people moving from out of state. It was kind of fortunate that I started my channel about 6 months before the whole COVID pandemic shit came about. And, business was the YouTube channel was just kind of getting started. I was starting to get traction, and then that hit. And, it kind of was a blessing in disguise that I already had 6 months of content out there because I picked up on a lot of people trying to escape from the Northeast, from California, from the Northwest, all these different places trying to get to Utah to, because now they're working remote, they can work anywhere, or they're coming here for the jobs that we have. Utah's growing like crazy. We've got a big tech and healthcare scene. So a lot of high paying jobs coming in, and people getting, new jobs here in the area, or just working remote and want to, have access to the outdoors. So tons of people coming in, probably 90% relocation. I do get the occasional lead that already lives here in Utah, and they're just kind of doing research, and they find me and say, hey, I just came across you on YouTube. Love your stuff. Would love to help or get your help with buying a place. But, and then I also do get probably, I've probably had 3 or 4 investors reach out as well. I do a little bit of investing content on my channel as well, talking about how to invest, what to look for. I'm a real estate investor myself. That's how I got in the business. But anyway, made some content about that. So you can really attack that angle as well. If that's your niche, I mean, you can go after that. So there's tons of different niches you can go after. But for me, it's been mostly relocation.
Yeah. And that's the key, niche. A lot of times people will be like, hey, we get the question all the time. Like, just if you start just creating like just real estate content, like, hey, how to buy and sell at the same time, or the home selling process. Like, it's very, you're not going to get any views on YouTube, are you? Like, is a lot of people going to search out that type of content?
Yeah.
It's not that it's bad content.
Yeah. It's just that nobody's searching it, right? I mean, there's been thousands of agents who have done those types of videos, and nobody's searching for that type of content. That's why, when somebody's looking at buying a house and they want to learn about the escrow process or inspections or appraisals, most people I've found don't really care about that stuff. They're relying on you to just tell them what they need to know, handle it, make sure they don't get in a bad spot, take care of the rest, right? They don't really care about the details of how an appraisal is valued. They just care that their home appraises. So people aren't searching for that. They want to know more about the area and more about your expertise as the agent who knows that area and can get the job done.
100%. When I moved here, you guys, in the California, I say this often on the show, but I went to YouTube to look up and see, I'm like, what the fuck does Encinitas look like? What does the housing look like? What does the strip look like? Like, where am I going to go get beer at? Where am I going to go take my kids to the park? I just wanted to see what it looked like, and oftentimes the reason why, this is theory, but I think it's accurate. I'm appreciate your opinion on it. But the reason why I think so many reloads come in the market is twofold. One, they're doing what I was doing, visually looking to see what the area is. And then when they see someone there, it's that no like trust factor. And that's what video does. 90% of it's based upon the body language and the tonality we're expressing. It's not the fucking content. So like if you're approachable on video, they like your personality, which is why they call you. It's not because of the content you're spitting out. Most of the content's so damn boring, to be honest with you. It's how you're saying it that people are actually interested in. And they're like, I fucking like this guy. And then they call because they just want those boots on the ground. Whereas if you look at local business and how local businesses transacted, over 85% of it's going to come from someone you already know, used in the past, or personally met or bumped into. So when you look at that, someone relocating in doesn't have that referral base. They don't have that network, which is why a lot of online lead generation, which is why everything on YouTube comes in, is so much relocation, is because they're simply just not being referred to the people that they normally would if they're making a local transaction.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, I mean, you hit it right on. The content is, as an agent, the content seems boring and repetitive, but for the person who's never been to your area, they gobble that stuff up. I can't tell you how many texts and emails and phone calls I've had where people contact me and say, I watch your videos. I can't believe, I'm talking to you. Your videos have been
like
so
a celebrity,
helpful.
right? You get the celebrity status.
Like, I've had people like, basically say that to me, that you're like, oh, I can't believe I'm talking to you. And it's a little weird, but it's like, they know me because they've watched hours upon hours of my content. I have no idea who they are, but they already know me, like me, and trust me, like you said. And that's the most important part of business, right? When it comes to real estate, this is something I preach all the time to, especially newer agents or agents who aren't doing a lot of business. It comes down to it comes down to how you present yourself, the body language, and the confidence that you have to be the person that they need to trust in order to get that job done. It doesn't come down to how well you know real estate or how good your YouTube videos are. I mean, yes, that will help, right? You want to have high quality videos, but my first videos were absolute garbage. I mean, audio sucked, the video sucked. I was stuttering. The editing was bad. Everything was bad about it. And yet I've got, 10,000, 20,000 views on some of those first videos, and they still consistently put out 50 to 100 views every couple of days. So it doesn't matter, right? The content, the quality doesn't really matter. It's how you present yourself and what kind of
authenticity, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta be authentic.
Yeah.
My daughter watches like YouTube all the time. So I get all these like YouTube celebrities, from Mr. Beast to like, you name it. And you watch their content. And the reason why it's like reality TV, like perfection doesn't exist. The second you try to be perfect is the second you start turning everybody off. But let's go back to look at the positioning on this. And this isn't just like, this is on YouTube. Like, people who are just farming their local market with video too are attracting local clients the exact same way, because you put the personality with the name, and people just want to feel like that know, like, and trust. So we did a podcast with a dude named Grant Wise. I forget what episode it is. It's been a while, but anyways, he's done a study on this, or he researched a lot of this. And what he came up with was like, hey, when people are on video, it's like ingrained into our brains, because as kids, He's like, why do you think your kid runs up to Mickey Mouse and like gives him a hug and thinks it's a superhero? It's just some drunk dude in a costume. And yet your kid thinks that this Mickey Mouse is superhero. Well, because the kid was seeing him on television and TV growing up. So when they see him in person, you get like this celebrity status. And there's actually a study done. I wish I knew the name of it, but it's very interesting. And you're exactly right. People are like, feel like you're a celebrity doing it. And the positioning is crazy on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go in through a couple other things because you're mentioning YouTube content. What do you do for editing now and content creation? Because a lot of people overthink these like scripts, but it's really just like keep them conversational is what I tell people. It's one-on-one. You're just telling people what you already know, and you don't need to be a expert in buying or selling real estate. You need to be an expert in your community.
Yeah, exactly. I rarely talk about buying or selling real estate in my videos, like the specific details of that process. It's almost entirely about what's my area, what does it look like, what are the pros and cons, how much does it cost to live there, all those, different types of things on the video. That's what's most important that people actually care about. So, when it comes to making content, that's what you've really got to focus on.
How much content are you putting out? How many videos do you do in a month? What's
Yeah.
your schedule like, and what's your frequency?
Yeah. So right now I'm about one per week. I've been trying some different types of videos. I've been doing some home tours and stuff, just trying to test that out, see how what the feedback is. So I'm kind of somewhere between 1 and 2 videos per week. If you were just getting started, if you don't have that backlog of videos, on your channel already, I'd say you absolutely need to be 2, if not 3 videos per week, in my opinion, to build up that base of videos that people can go watch, at least until you've got 10 to 20 videos out there. So yeah, I'm about 1 per week right now. And most of them are in the office or out vlogging. So, it might be just a sit down video like this, where I talk about my area, show some stuff on the screen, and that's it. Or I'll be out in my area filming the sidewalks, the houses, the businesses, everything that people want to see. And, those are the 2 types of videos I do. And then you asked about editing. In the beginning, I edited everything myself. I wanted to kind of understand the process and figure it out. But I've since moved on, and I've got a virtual assistant who edits everything for me at this point.
What kind of performance difference are you seeing on talking head stuff when you're sitting down, as opposed to you being out on the street, on the beach, showcasing, demonstrating the area?
Yeah, that's a great point. I would say that a lot of people, I think people really get attached to my videos on the vlog type videos where I'm actually out and about doing stuff. Those are the videos where people are like, yeah, I saw your video on this city, and it was great because I got to see how many trees there were, if was there dirt, was there sidewalk, was it paved, like all that stuff, whatever, just kind of how it visually looks. So people get attached to that, which is nice. But at the same time, I think people appreciate the talking head stuff because they can just throw it on while they're driving. They don't have to watch me or anything necessarily. They just listen to it kind of like you would a podcast or whatever. So they both do well. I think I do think you need both in order to be successful.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got informational, like community informational content, and you have community demonstratable content, like the tours, the downtown areas. That's what people want to see, and those do really well. And you're right. It's sort of like the vlog stuff. People overthink the formatting of it, but scripting is like very simple when you just break down storytelling and essay writing and how you wrote book reports when you were in 2nd grade. It's the same shit. Attention getter, introduction, body, outro, attention getter, introduction, body, outro. So if you guys follow, y'all have the skill set to do this. It's not very difficult, just that for whatever reason, I don't know why, Cody, but people buckle at the knees when the record button goes on. And I'm always like, dude, why are you buckling at the knees, bro? You're a grown ass man. Like you just sold a $20 million property and just made like $200,000. You're going to let this little red light make you buckle at the knees? Like, come on, bro. Like you're tougher than that. Yeah. Why is that? Why do people hesitate so much?
I don't know. I haven't figured it out.
When you started, were you sort of like, hey, this feels weird? Or
yeah, I mean, it's definitely weird to like talk to a camera. I'm not generally that type of person. I mean, I've gotten used to it now, and now I don't even have an issue. I just click it on and I just go, and I stumble through it, and I can edit it out and redo it. And you kind of learn that stuff. I think a lot of people get hung up at the very beginning. They think it has to be perfect, right? They have to say the right thing. They can't stutter. They have to, have a smile on their face, whatever, like all that shit that doesn't really matter. I mean, it does matter, right? Like you want to do your best, but like, don't overthink it. Just hit record and just get a video out. That's the biggest thing. It's not the scripting, it's not the content, it's not anything else. It's simply just hitting record, getting a video done, looking at it, saying, oh yeah, I could have done this better, and fix it next time and release the video and, get on with it.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you firsthand, there's so many people overthink the first video. I'm like, dude, like, no one cares. Quite frankly, no one cares what the hell you do, but like the more imperfect it is in its own way, oftentimes the better it performs because of that vulnerability.
Yeah, because it's authentic, right? And the thing is, you put that first video out, you might get 12 views anyway, right? Like that very first video, over time, it might get views, but at the beginning, you're only going to get 10, 12, 15 views maybe, so it's not like the whole world is watching this. It's not like you're on CNN or something, with tons of exposure right off the bat. So don't overthink it. And the beautiful thing about YouTube is, look, some of those first videos, I've gone back and remade them and they do great. Now that my audio quality is better, my video quality is better, I'm better on camera, charisma is better, whatever, all that stuff, you can just remake the video. Nobody even sees the first one anymore, so it's not the end of the world if it's not perfect.
Makes a lot of sense. What else do you see coming out on with YouTube? I know a lot of people are familiar now with the 18 months ago, this is like the hidden strategy, right? And everyone's like, wow, YouTube. But now you see a lot of people doing the pros and cons videos and all that.
Yeah.
Are you seeing any other avenues open up beyond the tours, beyond the pros and cons, the top neighborhoods, the cost of livings, all that stuff? Are you seeing any other avenues coming down the pipe for different areas of content creation that people haven't quite seen yet?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that YouTube will still be the number one platform, in my opinion, at least for the next 3 to 5 years. So it's going to be video content, number one. Number two, it's going to have to go beyond pros and cons and cost of living and all that stuff. It's going to have to go into more vlogs. I think that's going to be more important, showing the area, especially for relocation. And also, once you've built up an audience, I think it's easier to niche down a little bit and start talking about commercial real estate, start talking about investors, start talking about these, new construction, whatever it might be. If you want to go into new construction, I mean, you can build up a portfolio of home tours and talking about new construction and how the framing process works and whatever. And who knows, maybe you pick up a builder client and they give you 50 listings, right? Because they know, like, hey, Cody can sell, he's good on video, he knows how to market, and he knows the construction process. This is going to be huge. You can use that once you've got, a repertoire of videos and, the confidence to display that on video. That can be really helpful. So I think that's going to be, niching down is going to be another thing that gets more important. I've seen some agents on YouTube who do only investment type stuff, and they absolutely crush it for people in their local market. Going beyond that, I think that, increasing the quality is going to be extremely important, going forward. I've seen a couple agents start to pop up that have really figured out how to be charismatic, how to entertain, how to joke, how to, really kind of be a performer when it comes to YouTube. And I think that's going to make the difference, right? If I just sit here, if I just sit here like a cold statue, nobody's going to really relate to that. But if I can be charismatic, I'm moving, my hands are moving, whatever, people are going to attach to that. And I think that's going to give you a leg up. So doing higher quality content, maybe going the professional videographer route, all those, I'm just kind of, shooting off the hip here, some different ideas that I'm exploring and kind of the direction that I want to take my channel to continue to maintain that top spot in my market.
It's going to evolve though. I remember like in 2010, I remember riding around in Chicago on a scooter thinking I was so cool. And with a flip camera, doing a selfie video, like, yeah, with these sunglasses on. It was probably the cheesiest thing I ever did in my life. But yeah, bro, I'm just like, but I mean, videos evolved. And I remember back then you didn't have to do anything. Just like Facebook Live came out, you didn't have to do anything. You just got on Facebook Live. It was like, oh, is he live? Is he live? And that got a lot of attention. But yeah, you're seeing the need for edited content versus the talking heads, because the talking head stuff, everybody's doing it. When everyone's doing something, you have to zig or zag or do a different direction because you lose attention. Tell me how you're multi-purposing the content beyond YouTube. Are you just putting the content on YouTube, or what else are you doing with it beyond posting on YouTube?
Yeah, it's 100% YouTube. I've thought about repurposing it into a podcast format, but it just have never gone that route. I don't know if it's just because viewership would be low or whatever, but I've just had so much success with YouTube that I've just stuck with that. So I do a little bit of repurposing. My virtual assistant helps with this. He'll take a video and just kind of cut it up, and occasionally we do something on Facebook or Instagram, just a short video. It's not actually a link to the direct video. It's just kind of a short clip. But that's basically it. I mean, it's 100% YouTube.
Do you post them to Facebook? Do you send them to your database? You video email them out or anything?
Nope. We don't do anything like that. We just, we basically just let YouTube do its thing.
Cool. Any other tips that you thinking? Anything else you want to share?
Man, you just got to get started. Like that's the biggest thing. Just get started. If you're in your market, I mean, the space now, I've been doing some research on how many other agents are in the market, just in different markets trying to do this. And you go to one city and there might be 5 or 10 agents trying to do this. Right. So 5 or 10 is still not very much compared to how many agents are out there door knocking or cold calling or trying to do Facebook ads, right? Everybody's on Facebook ads, or at least was. I've been out of that world for a couple of years now, but like 2 years ago, Facebook, everybody was doing Facebook, right?
Yep.
People were signing up for these websites and generating these leads, and they're getting 50 calls a day, right, from these people, from these different agents. So although there might be 5 or 10 agents on YouTube in your market, if you're better at video, if you're more confident, you're more consistent, and you put out higher quality content, you will get business from it. The thing I love about YouTube as well that I think people don't realize is the closing ratio is extremely high. I'm probably at about a 7 to 8% closing ratio for leads who reach out and then eventually actually end up buying or selling with me. And the beautiful thing is that the people who do reach out want to work with me, right? If they didn't want to work with me, they wouldn't be contacting me. They wouldn't call me. They wouldn't email me. They wouldn't text me because maybe they don't like my personality. Maybe they don't like how I presented something. Maybe I pissed them off because of something I said, whatever. And that's fine. I'll never know if they don't reach out, because they're just some random view on YouTube. But the people who do reach out respect me as an agent. They respect what I do, and they want to work with me, which is
would you say 7 to 8% of conversations you have of people that initially like comment on a video and say like, hey, I'm interested in moving. And when you talk to them like first time on a phone call or something off of YouTube, like that would be what you consider 7 to 8. And just so you guys know, like 1 to 3% is a national average, like for Zillow or some other type of lead gen. So he's saying it's 3 times as much on conversion.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm considering a lead anybody who reaches out to me. So it's not even a comment on a video. Most people who are interested will actually reach out. As of right now, I've probably got, I don't know, I'm probably at about 450. I don't know. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, about 466 leads over the last 2 years. So that's less than 1 per day, but that's how I get a closing ratio that's so high. It's somewhere in that 7 to 8% range from last time I checked. So these are people who have reached out either via a phone call, a text, or an email, said, hey, I'm thinking about moving to Utah. And then they eventually do.
And this is the difference, guys, between lead generation and attraction. Like when they reach out, are you like putting them in some kind of weird drip autoresponder? Or are you just being human and following up the human way?
Yeah, I just do it 100% human. I mean, again, I have that first initial conversation with them. If they're in a position where they're moving in the next, I don't know, maybe 4 to 5 months, I keep in constant contact with them. I'll check in every, couple weeks or whatever. But to be totally honest, a lot of the people check in with me, right? They're like, hey, I'm coming into town. Like, are you still available to show me some houses? Yep. So they honestly do a lot of the check-in for me. If they're out more than 5-6 months, I've got a system set up with a virtual assistant of mine, and they kind of check in every 2 months or so with an email, just, hey, how are your plans progressing? Anything we can do for you? And that's it. Nothing fancy. I use an Excel spreadsheet to keep track of my leads. Like, I know people are like all about the CRM and whatever. I keep it super simple and it works.
Yeah. That's it. Everyone's like, what do you need? You need some super duper auto. This is not online lead generation. This is called online attraction. That's what video is. Video doesn't generate leads. It attracts attention. And then your personality generates a damn lead. It just allows you to basically give your sales pitch without you really giving your sales pitch, because that's all people really hire when they hire a real estate agent. They're not hiring the fact that you have a real estate license. They're hiring what the fuck you can do with it. and whether they trust you. That's it. Moving's a big deal. People are like, shit, I'm scared. I don't know who to trust, where to go. Like, that's a big deal. And that's what that conversion is taking place during the consumption of the content you're creating. No other thing other than that, guys. Don't overthink this stuff. It's a giant popularity contest. And the more content you have, the more popular you become, the more conversations you create. Just like if you bought a lot of leads from Zillow, you'd have a lot of conversations. They'd just be different types. These conversations come to you. It's totally, it's attraction. So there's a major difference between marketing and advertising. We're talking about marketing. And if everyone should do a little bit of both. I'm sure Cody does some sort of lead generation stuff, probably on his investment side. What else are you doing with lead generation? I know this is taken off, but are you doing any? Do you even need to?
Yeah. So yes and no. I mean, I do postcards and keep in touch with my SOI and past clients and stuff. I send them a monthly mailer.
Yeah, I love that. That's just all marketing. It's not even lead gen. And you're just,
it's just marketing. So, I mean, as far as like lead generation, I don't do anything. The way that I look at it is I can go out there and I can, call Facebook leads or cold call for 3 hours, or I can just put a video together in 3 hours, and that video keeps working for me. It takes me 3 hours. I spend, $50 to get it edited, and I put it out there, and it works for me 24/7, 365. And so that's kind of the passive income of YouTube and lead generation and real estate is, making a video is a way better use of my time than trying to go out there and cold call or lead generate for 3 or 4 hours a day.
I 100% agree. Well put, dude. Cody, why don't you tell everybody how they can find you? I'm sure they want to check out your stuff and see how you're doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So you can find me, as we mentioned before, living in Salt Lake City, Utah. Just type that into YouTube, and hopefully I should pop up as number one, at least for the first, I don't know, probably 8 out of 10 videos, I hope. You can find my channel there. Feel free to jump on there, copy it, steal, whatever you want to do, take the video and just make it your own, right? Feel free to copy the content for your own local city. So that's where you can find my actual YouTube channel. And then I've got another one called the YouTube Realtor, where I make videos just like this, kind of talking about how to be successful on YouTube, how to be successful as a real estate agent, just all general real estate agent stuff. So just look up the YouTube Realtor on YouTube and you should find it.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for sharing all the stuff, and congrats on all your success. It's awesome. Just keep going. Like, folks, if you actually take action, things can happen. It's not rocket science. There's check out his channel, look what he's doing, and then just take action and do it. You either have two ways of doing this. You could either do it yourself and figure it all out, or if you want someone to do it for you, contact a real estate marketing dude. It's what we do. We'll script, edit, and distribute real estate content. If YouTube's part of your strategy, that's what we do. Or maybe you're not into blowing up your channel. Maybe you just want to build a local celebrity brand and you're just hitting your database. That's fine too. But either way, there's not a shortage of people that can help you, whether you learn from a guy like Cody or you contact us. So if you'd like to explore more what that looks like, please visit us on our website at realestatemarketingdude.com. That's realestatemarketingdude.com. And thank you very much for watching another episode of the realestatemarketingdude.com podcast. Follow us on social, subscribe to our channel, IG, and Facebook. And I swear to God, I'm going to get the TikTok channel up as soon as I get a damn minute. But appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you guys later and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.